Right, so in this video I want to talk about the power axe and really how to get the most out of it. We'll talk about some ideas and some thoughts and some theory on the power axe first, and then we will follow that up by looking at some moves down there in the battle bay of the battle barge, and then we'll proceed on doing a mission just to see how everything comes together. So when it comes to the power axe, I like to use it with the Vanguard. I believe the Vanguard is the class that can get the most out of it, namely because the power axe has some issues. It's difficult to have any crowd control with it, unlike the power sword for the bulwark. And also, it really synergizes well with parries and spacing, something that the Vanguard can use very well and to great effect. One of the drawbacks of the power axe is that it's actually pretty weak when it comes to its per hit damage, but with the Vanguard it just synergizes so well that it more than makes up for it. So let's perhaps look at the moves of the power axe first, and then we'll go to the Vanguard build I have set up, and then we'll go into the mission. So the nice thing is we can always explore what the moves are by going to this section of the battle barge and then pressing escape, and here we can see what we got, right? So we have the light combo, we have the whirl slash, which is really the only thing that comes close to any kind of crowd control, and then of course we can chain the whirl slash. We have the overhead strike, which is when you're sprinting you do an attack. One of the perks will actually give it area effect damage, but even then it's not so great. And this is really what makes the power axe work so well with the Vanguard, is when you do a parry, you immediately adopt a power stance, and when you're in said power stance, if you press your melee button, in my case F, then he will do a power back step. It's kind of like a step back power rake, if we were to compare it to anything, and it looks like a power rake of the bulwark. The nice thing about this is right after the parry, you do your power back step, and you can still follow that up with a gun strike. So you get some nice damage stacks there. Right, so when it comes to which perks synergize well with the Vanguard, if you guys remember, it synergizes well with parries, right, and spacing, and we'll see why the spacing is important. Let's look at the sword, the axe rather, perks that we got. Perpetual speed is nice just to keep the Majoris stunned by increasing the melee attacks. This is really nice when you're in power stance. You do not lose any control. I believe that combines well with, let's see here. Don't see it. There we go. That right here, while in power stance you do not lose control upon heavy hits, combines really well with patient stance, where you don't lose contested health. So you can really rely on that power stance quite a bit, and it really increases your survivability. Endless slash for whenever you need to, if you're running low on ammo, which I find is an issue with the Vanguard, you need to have some kind of crowd control. Gun strike from power stance, again, this is important because we'll rely on parries and gun strikes. Power back step wave damages more enemies. Again, we will be relying on the power back step wave. This is alright, you know, in combination with the endless slash. We can do the whirls and have some more crowd control. This is, I find, really good because it stacks off the Melta, I believe, as well. Any Melta attack. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores 1 armor segment. That really increases our survivability. And then this, again, just for some crowd control. Overhead strike deals damage around the target. Cooldown is 15 seconds. So why do I believe it works well with the Vanguard? Because even though it has a little bit of crowd control with the whirl slash, it's not great. The Melta gives us that crowd control that we need, both in stunning multiple Majoris or clearing Minoris. And then one nice thing about this guy's build is whenever you do the backstep slash after a parry, it gives you enough spacing to where you can actually immediately use the grapnel launcher on the enemy. And why is that important? We'll look at our perks here. So the key to making this work is diving kick additionally deals damage in a 5-meter radius. So every time we're grappling, we're making an area effect damage. When we perform a finisher with a grapnel launcher, it deals even more damage to nearby enemies. So most Majoris ranged enemies almost go into, if not already, into execute state. And most Majoris get damaged enough to where they're easily killable. And what makes this all come together is the grapnel launcher can activate even before enemies are in execute state. And every time we use it and we execute somebody, it automatically recharges. So basically this can trigger a chain of executes. So you execute the first guy, it can potentially cause all the Majoris around you to get into execute state, or one or two, and then you can rinse and repeat until you kind of clear the whole area. You can also apply this to even Minoris that are in red state, and it will trigger these two perks, and so you have a lot of AoE damage. And it's nice because every time you parry and you kind of backstep with the power axe, you can immediately make that work and make that possible. You can immediately grapnel into people. So next thing we'll do is we'll jump into the mission. I've selected a true solo absolute exfiltration, and I'll do a voiceover there because I recorded that mission separately, and we'll talk about how things work. Alright, see you guys there.
An evacuation. This is as close as I can get you to the Longinus Gamma facility.
Alright, so here we are in the mission, and using the power axe, remember we are synergizing with parries and spacing rather than the damage the power axe does. The Melta will provide crowd control for us in the meantime. That's why it synergizes so well with the Vanguard, because it can really cover for one of the biggest weaknesses, which is crowd control. And there we go, the Melta taking care of groups of Minoris, which is really what we'll be using it for. And here we should be able to see how we can chain those execute damages and how it synergizes so well with the perks and the power axe. I'm getting crowd control with the Melta and damaging them at the same time. Get 2 more executes now. We'll chain it. And the whole time we are getting our grapnel refilled. Doing some pistol damages to guarantee that he's in sufficiently low health. Backstep, gun strike. There we go. Damages everybody around us. I use a grapnel here just to stop the reinforcement call.
What needs grappling? Finished and ready.
Now you guys will see why I think the power axe is so weak. It just takes forever. And I really rely on gun strikes to get damage out of it.
Some warrior. Do not stall here. Move.
You guys see the charge attack there, and it did a little AoE explosion. It's alright, but it doesn't do that much damage, to be honest. This is a nice thing about the speed perk, is that I can continuously keep a Majoris stun. As you can see, the power axe itself really is pretty weak, and it really needs a buff the damage output that it makes. It takes forever and a day to get somebody into execute.
Disappointing.
No gene seed there. And an absolute, when you're true solo, one thing you'll eventually want to do is start playing defensive. So I get a little, I go on the attack here because I see that we have 3 zoanthropes. So I figured we can go on the offensive a little bit, and I'm chaining those grapnels again. If you noticed, I did it on a Minoris first, and it works just as fine then. There we go, we got the space needed for grapnel, and we trigger it again. I think here I forget to keep track of who was where, health-wise, and I end up wasting grapnels. That would have been ideal to use there, but I already wasted it. So, as you can see, nothing is ever quite perfect as it is in theory. You can put it into practice. And I see that now it's starting to get a little overwhelming, so I'm going to start getting defensive. There's devourers, there's snipers, there's 3 zoanthropes on me, so I need to use cover to my advantage. And particularly more so now that I've made 2 mistakes here, and so I'm out of armor, I'm low on health. I need to play very defensive. The priority there is the devourer, of course. It's going to cause me lots of grief. And I cheese some cover here. As you can see, the grapnel there also caused the zoanthrope to go into execute. I tried to get to it, but I was a little slow. And it resurrected. Gonna cheese the cover again. I'm not as good as Zambit or First Store Guardsman, so I need to cheese cover every now and then. I want absolute. That's why I really love the Melta. It interrupts Adoris, so it really helps with crowd control. So roughly with ranged Majoris, it takes about a parry, a backstep slash, and a gun strike, and maybe a shot or two for it to be low HP enough to where you can grapnel into an execute. And since I already had pre-damaged that sniper, I figured I could just do that combo and then immediately grapple it, and it worked. Really starting to check for ammo in this part of the map because this is one of the real weaknesses, and I mean real weaknesses of the Vanguard is we really don't have ammo regen, so we really need to use our ammo very, very judiciously. Now, you'll notice I do that combo of the backstep and gun strike. If you do that twice, he's low damage enough to where you can grapnel into an execute. As you can see here, that's true for both the Lictor and the Ravener. And also the Biobor, I believe. You'll notice that I like to go behind the Biobor. That tends to prompt it to stand up from its fortified position. And then I wait for him to do his blue jump, where I can usually get some parries and gun strikes in. So I do keep a little bit of distance from him. And that seems to work.
Challenge us here. A lift station lies just ahead, Meridian. Considering the Trygon's presence is incidental to our objective, utilize the lift to reroute closer to Metrian's keep. We have eyes on the lift platform.
I'm going to do some crowd control with the Malta. Here I'm basically waiting for an opportunity to trigger the grapnel area of effect. But I think I latched onto the wrong target there. I was trying to go for the Ravener and I ended up tagging the Majoris. using the crates as cover, just so that I'm not as exposed.
One down. Trillions to go. Into the fray. Ult available. What needs grappling? Into the fray. Frankfurting set. Grappling will just set. What needs grappling?
Summon the transport lift. Train patient. Transport lift inbound. Perplexing. I have transmitted no authorizations.
This location makes us easy prey. Swap positions.
Transport lift status incomprehensible. Begins, ceases. Begins, ceases.
Until the lift arrives.
The lift has arrived.
Get in, brothers! Hurry!
Metrian welcomes you to Longinus Gamma Bioresearch Facility. Please do not disturb the lift. It would be a waste. I have no music to play while you descend. Use the silence to contemplate your futile, brutal existence in service to a desiccated cause.
I want to take a chainsaw to this servo skull.
Brilliant. The servo skull is enslaved to an unknown master. I am...
So you can see here that I am really running low on ammo, so I'm trying to rely on the power whirl for AoE damage, but you guys can see it's not so great.
What Mechanicus foolery is this?
Our gene seed here, and we have Extremis, and I'm running very low on ammo, and once again I've got zoanthropes. So this is a situation that's very tough, and so this is one of the things that I learned, I guess, playing true solo absolute is you got to pick your battles and you got to manage your resources. So I figured I'll just press forward until I find ammo. I'll ignore this engagement until I find some ammo somewhere, and hopefully I can engage with the enemy. Because with my current resources, with my current ammo count, that engagement doesn't seem to be something that would be very productive. And sure enough, lo and behold, there's an ammo crate.
Ordnance on me. Arming up.
So now what I figured is, well, I'm better on ammo, but I do know that there's an ammo drop pod up ahead, and I do know that the door's closed, so
Trygon desires battle.
I'm doing well on armor, I'm doing well on health, got plenty of ammo. I've been engaging the enemy pretty thoroughly in the previous sections, so I should get a good extermination rank. So I figured, just skip this section.
The uncomfortable sensation associated with relief cools my remaining skin. Be warned,
That probably shaved off another 5-10 minutes of my run,
stand against you alone.
and also
She will lie and
less
storm
risky.
in hope the Xeno swarm will devour you. Case in point, she has enslaved that servo skull as a crude mouthpiece. I give her word zero credibility for the mission's sake. And you're a
Behemoth wants up. The vile tyrannids are amassing.
Starches. The facility is well stocked in mining gear. Requisition melter charges to eradicate the tunnels and halt the infestation.
Authorize those festering holes with molten hatred. Reload. Find the melter charges. Our fury requires the searing fusion of melters. Only melter charges can destroy those hive holes. Our fury requires the searing fusion of melters. Only melter charges can destroy those hive holes. One more tyrannic cavern lies in smoldering ruins. Move, brothers. We near the facility.
Alright, so that's one combo. If we can get a second combo in, we should get him executable. There it is. Same goes for the Biovore, so now we hunt the Biovore, but I do have a Melta. Notice I drop the Melta, wait for it to get up, and then trigger it. Bombs or ground pounds, or anything for that matter, does not damage the Biovore if it's planted. So don't waste your Meltas on them while it's still in its fortified stance. Wait for it to get up and then detonate.
Inside the facility, you'll find Metria cowering in her data enclave.
Gallia, old friend of mine. If you missed our
Alright, we got a Carnifex on our hands.
you could have sent communication.
Probably some Majoris and an Extremis somewhere.
Still pathetically cling to thews of soft tissue. Remember, meat lacks efficiency, whereas metallic alloy is stave off corrosion and degradation for far longer.
How far you
Now I need to really use my ammo very judiciously because the Carnifex has lots of HP
back into
and I only have a limited number of ammo. Range Majoris are really the guys you want to go after whenever you're fighting a Terminus enemy, because they'll make your life a nightmare, really. So I choose to ignore the Carnifex mostly in the beginning parts of this fight and go for the Range Majoris.
Coming our way. Disappointing. Closing the gap.
Probably the worst thing you can have is an Enraged Devourer while a Carnifex is on your tail.
Into the maw of death.
You'll notice that when he fires his spiked barbs, he tries to fire them at where you will project it to be. So what you have to do is kind of dodge opposite of where you will be moving. And you'll see in the subsequent ones how I choose to dodge. I always jump in the opposite direction. So really this Devourer has been the bane of my existence and really whittled down my health. Now, finally, it's just the Carnifex and myself. Now, I need to be very careful here. I need to be patient. I need to play defensive because I do have low health. I don't have much armor as a Vanguard. And I also need to use my ammo carefully, so I can't just constantly use my ammo. So I figured it's just him and me. There's no other distractions. I can start searching around to see if there's any resources I can pick up, whether that's ammo or a med pack or some armor somewhere. So I start looking around now in the map. Patience is key when you're doing true solo absolutes. You don't need to necessarily kill everything in the fastest speed. I also do know that as long as his health is above 50%, additional reinforcements will not arrive. So this is the time to go exploring while it's just him and me. Alright, so I see that there's no resources around, so I do have to engage with the Carnifex. And I am relatively low in health, so I just have to be really careful about it, and I have to cheese cover where I can, if possible. Looks like I go inside to see if there's any resources there. There's usually a gene seed on the left side and nothing else, so I look here on the right, and bingo, some ammo. That'll help. I look upstairs. Sometimes there's a stim pack or some ammo that spawns here. Maybe some grenades. I don't see anything. I can't go to the next section because I do have to kill the Carnifex. So I finished doing my sweep for resources, and I think that's pretty much it. So now I do have to face off the Carnifex. It's a nice section of the map because there's plenty of places where I can get cover. But I also can't just throw my ammo around the entire time. I will have to melee it at some point. But melee, of course, is risky because he can swing and hit. Whereas as long as I stay ranged, he shouldn't be able to hurt me. Alright, so we're close to 50% health. I'll engage him. Parry Gunstrike. Parry Gunstrike is usually the way to go. Until he's below 50% health, in which case you should do 2 parries back to back and then Gunstrike. Parry, and then Gunstrike. So as his health goes lower, his swings go faster. That's why when he's higher health, he can usually squeeze in a Gunstrike between parries when he's attacking you. But when he's 50% or lower, his swings are automatically a lot faster. You cannot squeeze in Gunstrikes between parries, so you just have to do double parry and then drop your Gunstrike in. And of course now we're below 50% health on the Carnifex, so we have reinforcements. The silver lining here is that I get an Extremist spawn and the Vanguard can get some health regen with that, so I'm hoping to play defensive and get a melee execute on that Ravener so I can get some health back. All the while dodging the enemy and dodging the spike attacks and everything else. Quite a bit of coordination. So I'm being patient. I'm waiting for the Ravener to come to me. There it is. So we got rid of the extremists, got some health back. Now we need to focus on the Majoras. But they're all melee Majoras, so it should be very doable.
One down.
Just gotta be patient and keep kiting.
Hook available. Smoking out magazine. Stay there, buddy. What need? Finished and ready.
I'm gonna circle around, try to see if I can get that cabbage thrower. It's a nice example of how you jump in the opposite direction of where you're running.
Reloading. One down.
Alright, now it's just him and me. I have a reasonable amount of ammo and I can parry him. One strike. Now I'm just waiting for him to do the swing so I can parry and gun strike. Now I'm out of armor, so I do want to be more careful now. So I switched back to range since I have no armor pips left. And use cover again. I've got plenty of ammo, so I don't want to risk it.
Gallia knows nothing of the shadow and its myriad secrets. But I do.
Smoking out magazine.
And there we have it. Carnifex down, and I'll get some health back as well.
May the mountain of the Xenos bastards.
Once you kill the Terminus, it does get quiet. The game, the game master or the game AI or what have you will put a pause or a hold on spawns. So it's always a nice idea to cover the most ground as possible once you kill a Terminus, because it'll be free of any kind of spawns or reinforcements or any enemies spawning.
No turning back now.
Three meat lackeys seems like overkill, Gallio. You think too highly of me. These poor, inert variables shall perish here, devoured
I don't
by
pick up the Melta because I remember that I do also have regen on my equipment charge every time I kill more than 7 enemies, I believe, in a certain amount of time. So I figured I'll just do a Melta shot somewhere and get my Melta bomb.
Underestimates the second coming. started. After the mind grows, of course.
You are a redundant functionary. Your Astartes shall die here, alone, in the dark.
No hope and no brains. Wings, Trygon, toxin, power cell found. These generators need power.
I dropped the energy cell there because I can't take them on with the energy cell.
Melter arm. Disappointing. Let us murder it. Die the way it lives. Under my that will teach you to sneak up on the start.
Notice that there's a ammo box there and there's some crack grenades. I'm gonna make a mental note of it because it may come in handy later on. And again, end up picking them on the drawers there.
Got the gear. Swapping out magazine. Rebel will just set. May the hive mind howl at me. Closing the gap. Magazine out. Magazine in. Walk available. Here is a power cell. These generators need power.
Light and darkness. How easily flesh parts deceive their perception.
Disrupt her attempts to connect with the facility's network. Mitrium will seize any opportunity to damage crucial data, which would deem this mission a failure. Do not let her connect to the consoles.
I will gladly rip the brain to these sockets.
I am copies of copies, backups of backups, and I degrade not. You have already fallen.
No hope and no brains. I am within the field. Replenished and ready. Connection permanently set.
Return to Mitrian's containment unit. See, Mitrian, the more you thrash, the deeper you sink. hit our hooks. These tender claws of Astartes' flesh have accomplished nothing, Gavio. My machinations are already achieving my designs. You are fools, peasants. Science, Mitria. Meridian, confirm possession of my concrete mass of computational gray matter.
I love it when vermin dig their own graves. I'm swapping out magazine. Let that someone for brother. One down, trillions to go.
Now that I've cleared the field mostly, or finished clearing the field, I'll finally start engaging the zone throw.
Into the maw of death.
Notice I marked the zone throw so he's highlighted and easier to see. Notice how I jump into the laser beams. That usually gets you the best chance of dodging them, is jumping into them.
Stay there, vermin. I hold the Temptress Ranger, and I'm resisting the urge to smash it.
Pilot, Meridian is ready for evacuation. Sending updated extraction coordinates to you now, Meridian.
You can see how ammo hungry this build is, and because we don't have regen, I do go through ammo a lot, and I do need ammo a lot as a resource.
Meltable ready. Disappointing.
Keeps stepping back, so I just patiently dodge the sniper shots. Every time he steps back, that'll mean 2 sniper shots are coming in. strike opportunity. And then I remembered there were some crack grenades upstairs.
Take what you can carry.
What I'll do is, if you throw a crack grenade immediately, it'll put its shield up and the crack will not damage it. So I want to trigger the shield on one of the zoanthropes. And this will, so now I can immediately throw the crack grenade on the other one.
Crack grenade deployed.
Now it's just the zoanthrope and myself, so I'm not going to waste my crack grenade on it. I'll just dodge the shots and shoot it down.
Swapping out magazine. Fuel your packs, brothers. Four mines incoming. Take it apart.
I don't have a melter this time, so I'll have to parry and backstep and gun strike. And I see that there's enemies everywhere, so I'm going to try to get the enemies to be in front of me instead of being surrounded. So it's always a good idea to step back and get the entire horde in front of you. Not have anybody behind you that could surprise you. And I'm surrounded again, so I need to get myself positioned once again. And now that I have everybody in front of me, I need to re-engage.
What needs grappling? That's it all! The enemy run out of weapons? Open from me! Some warrior. Into the maw of death. Hook available. Out! Magazine, do not get turned around! A little more dust is no bother. We will be prying particulate from our ceramite for weeks. Arming up.
Big group, so once again, melter crowd control. I know I do have an ammo drop pod nearby, so I can always get ammo if I need to. So I can be a little more generous with my melter use. Here we go, chain of grapnels again.
New hope and new grace. Closing the gap. Reloading. Punching through their defense.
throw a crack there to kind of trigger the execute. That way I can just chain grapple into the guys. Once again, I think I fell into the wrong one. Now, I used up my cracks, but I'm not too worried because even if it's 2 zone probes, I do have a ammo drop pod, so I can always just get more ammo if I need to. And of course, I choose to clear the field first before I engage with the zone probe. Pick up some ammo. Back. I won't use cracks because it's just a single zone throw. Now, once you activate the drop pod and go to that area where it says interact, enemies stop spawning, so you can take the time to kind of do a quick sweep to see if there's any resources you missed. Remember, this is a true solo, so take your time, be patient, see if there's any resources. Sometimes there's a med stim. I checked around, didn't really see any ammo or med stims or anything, so I figured, okay, it's time to face the Trygon, and we're doing pretty well. Full armor, full health, full ammo, 1 stim, and the gene seed. So I want to take a moment to talk about the Trygon and how to fight it. There are several things. We have the phase where he jumps towards you, and he will either A, go underground, or B, he will land and try to attack you. In both instances, as he approaches you, it's better to jump forward rather than backwards to avoid damage. So you jump into the Trygon. When he lands, there will be 2 ways in which he attacks. He can start his attack from the right or the left. If he starts from the right, you parry, gun strike, and then a second attack will come. You parry, you gun strike that. If he attacks from the left, he will do 2 quick successive sweeps at you. So you just want to parry, immediately parry, and then you gun strike. Right, so let's get into the fight. Alright, this is something we can parry. Parry, sweep, gun strike. Now he'll be diving at us, so we have to jump forward. Jump forward, dodge. Left attack so we can gun strike. Follow-up attack and we can gun strike. This is the one I struggle usually with the timing, is that left attack. Diving at us, dodge, right attack, parry, gun strike, subsequent attack, parry, gun strike. Notice how that attack started from the left, so it was 2 quick sweeps. That was unfortunate, so I had to use my stim. Had I opened those crates that I was looking for earlier, I would have probably gotten armor and would not have needed to use a stim. That was an unfortunate use of resources that had to be done. Again, dive into the Trygon. right attack, so that allows us to squeeze in gun strikes. The left attack there is too successive. Again, and he comes back with the right swing, so we're able to squeeze in gun strikes. Going for the crates as I'm out of armor, and I get a stim, which I was not expecting, but it's a welcome surprise. Now, as long as there's enemies around, the Trygon will not fight you, so feel free to use that to your advantage. This is a good way to regenerate armor, because Minoris parries equal armor. So take your time, don't rush it, get yourself composed, and then once you feel you're ready to face off the Trygon again, kill the last enemy.
Eradicate the vermin from the tunnel.
I suppose if I also had the level 25 perk where I could get health regen and I was low on health, I could cheese this portion of the fight to get infinite waves and heal up with Majora's kills until I had full health. But I don't have that perk, so no need for that. Alright, it's down to the last enemy. Once he's dead, this will spawn an electricity attack, so be ready for that. Parry this. Quick 2 parries and then a gun strike. We can squeeze in gun strikes here. And once again, I just suck at the timing of that attack. Depleted with armor, so depleted out of armor rather, so I pick up I open the crate there to get some armor back. So don't open all the crates immediately. I can squeeze in gun strikes because the attack originated from the right. I can parry this. Swings are quick and successive when they start from the right, so you can't squeeze in gun strikes on that one. Spawn the next tunnels, and I take some pot shots as we can still lower his health.
We need a melter charge on every high hole.
again, until the last enemy is killed, the Trygon won't directly attack us. So use that to your advantage.
Give up the killing, brothers, for we are the bleed of Xenos.
It should spawn an electricity attack once the last enemy is down.
Trygon kill confirmed.
There you have it.
Congratulations,
Thanks for watching, guys. The rest of this will just be the mission stat screen, and I'll let you guys see that, and then the video will come to an end. Again, thanks for watching, guys, and hope I was able to teach you a thing or two.